She is the most malevolent woman in the prison break and also Michael's mother. Now that Scylla is in her hands, Christina wants to eliminate Krantz to take sole control of the company. At this moment, Krantz is discussing plans with Griffin in a car. Suddenly, Griffin and the driver get out of the car without any warning, which makes Krantz sense something is wrong, but it's already too late. Krantz finds his seatbelt locked and frantically kicks open the wine cabinet to grab a bottle opener, desperately tearing at the seatbelt. After moving away, Griffin, smugly, presses the remote control in his hand. Because Griffin didn't check the body, Christina soon calls to tell him that Krantz might still be alive. Just moments ago, a helicopter suddenly descended on the company headquarters and took the severely injured Krantz back. Griffin immediately starts to panic, knowing Krantz is aware of his betrayal and that he must leave the United States immediately to avoid being hunted down, but Christina calmly stated that she had come up with a better way to make him disappear without a trace.
Do you mind putting me on speaker? You know, Griff, you're a brave man. And I thank you for everything you've done. It's been an honor.
Now what?
Just after hanging up the phone, Krantz calls, saying someone just tried to kill him. Suspecting Christina is the mastermind behind it. Christina feigns concern for Krantz but mocks him for losing Scylla. "You'd be better off searching for Scylla than suspecting me," she says, then hangs up. It's clear from their conversation that the two corporate giants are at loggerheads. Meanwhile, on the other side, Michael and Sarah are hiding in the cargo compartment of a truck, getting ready to head to Miami in search of Scylla's traces. Suddenly, a police car stops the truck, claiming it's overloaded, and opens the cargo door for inspection. The man notices Michael's trouser leg but keeps quiet. He goes to the cab, takes out the driver with one shot, and then drives the truck forward. Inside, Michael and Sarah are incredibly tense, feeling trapped, trying to open the cargo door only to find it already locked. Calmly, Michael uses a rope to tie to the refrigerator and uses the inertia of the truck turning to break open the door, then jumps out with Sarah. The assassin, realizing something is wrong, quickly gets out to pursue. They run through the grass to an open factory building. Sarah picks up an iron rod. Michael goes out to lure the assassin. When the assassin slowly approaches, Michael suddenly strikes, knocking him to the ground, his head hitting a rock. Michael takes something out of the assassin's bag and finds a strange note. As the assassin is dying, he claims he wasn't sent by Krantz. Michael wants to ask more, but the assassin has already breathed his last. Michael closely examines the note, which clearly is an instruction from the mastermind to the assassin. The line indicates the time and place to intercept Michael and Sarah, exactly matching the location of the incident. MS coincidentally also stands for Michael's initials, suggesting the next line must be the person the mastermind wants Michael to meet. Michael decides to follow this clue in pursuit of Scylla, unaware he's falling into a huge conspiracy set by his own mother. Meanwhile, Lincoln locates the caller's address from a mysterious call received on Scott's phone, only to find the place deserted, leaving behind an old, yellowed photo on the table. Lincoln immediately recognizes it as an old photo of him and his mother from his childhood. Mahone and Lincoln observe the photo and notice the car is from 1978, while Michael was born in 1976. Clearly, a pregnant mother couldn't stand in front of this car for a photo, which must be a secret signal from the mother wanting a private meeting with Lincoln. The two men searched the license plate and found that it was in fact the coordinates for a hotel 5 kilometers away. Lincoln goes alone to the address from the photo, and soon Christina arrives. Mother and son reunite after more than 20 years, but as adversaries. Lincoln steals a glance at his mother, while Christina admits the hardest decision of her life was abandoning her sons. She wants Scylla because Krantz is unfit to control it. Krantz is too warlike and bloodthirsty. If a mother were in charge of the company, it would undergo earth-shattering changes. If Krantz were dead, no one would chase after you. She hopes the brothers will give her 2 more days, not to pursue Scylla relentlessly. In that case, they would all be free in 2 days. Lincoln was utterly moved, and facing his mother's words, he nodded without any resistance. After returning to the base, Lincoln ordered no actions to be taken for the next 2 days because his mother would deal with Krantz and had promised to change the way the company operates. But unexpectedly, because Michael escaped from the villa, Krantz, wanting to make Lincoln and the others utterly devoted to working for him, captured Lincoln's girlfriend and son, Mahone's ex-wife Pam, Teabag's mother, and Don's wife, throwing everyone into disarray. Lincoln wanted to find his mother to see if she had any solution, but when he returned to the hotel where they had met, he found it had already closed. Christina also received the news of Lincoln's return, knowing that Lincoln had begun to doubt and that the struggle among the four of them for Scylla was inevitable. Christina, weighing her options, did not hesitate to order her son to be killed directly.
Take it.
Take it.
The sniper was just about to pull the trigger when he suddenly realized Lincoln had moved to a position obscured by obstacles. At the same time, Dawn had already spotted the sniper upstairs. They had been prepared all along. Upon receiving the message, Mahone hurriedly ran upstairs but was ambushed by the sniper right as he arrived. Luckily, dodging in time, the sniper fired to suppress and took the chance to flee. However, as soon as he reached the ground floor, Lincoln, who had been waiting, tackled him. At this moment, Lincoln was furious, unable to believe that his mother actually wanted to kill him. The screams of bystanders distracted Lincoln, allowing the sniper to stab him, but the sniper didn't get far before being run over by Teabag, who was driving after them. The group surrounded the sniper, intending to force out Christina's location, but as the sound of police sirens grew closer, they had no choice but to take his phone and quickly leave. Back at the base, Krantz called to inquire who currently had Scylla. Lincoln, still holding on to familial affection, did not tell Krantz that Scylla was in Christina's hands. Krantz doubted Lincoln's capabilities, giving them one last day before angrily hanging up. Time was running out, and without finding Scylla, their loved ones would be killed. Mahone found a number that appeared multiple times in the sniper's call log. Following this number's location, they drove and unexpectedly arrived at the Indian embassy. Descending from the car was Christina, with a bodyguard carrying a box containing Scylla. They planned to sneak in to steal Scylla. The crucial task of diverting the security guard's attention fell on Teabag. Teabag arrived at the embassy entrance demanding to see the President of India. Expressing his dissatisfaction with India's treatment of elephants, he declared, "Elephants are sacred animals and should live freely in the tropical rainforests," even going as far as to handcuff himself to the main gate. In a dramatic gesture, with the embassy's security cameras turning towards them, the others took the opportunity to climb in. As more guards gathered at the gate, Teabag became even more animated, even claiming he would write to the United Nations to complain. After successfully reaching the back door and picking the lock, they quickly informed Teabag to evacuate, but it was too late, as Teabag was just freeing himself from the handcuffs when a group of men in black grabbed him and threw him into a car. "Since you love elephants so much, we'll send you to the zoo to be with your elephant brothers," they told him. At this time, Christina was visiting the son of the President of India, Naveen. Christina opened her laptop to introduce Naveen to all the technologies in Scylla, including solar cells, seawater desalination technology, and how to make crops survive in the desert. Christina proposed that India handle production and sales, while she would be the invisible partner behind the scenes, splitting profits 50-50, and invited Naveen to attend the Global Energy Conference the next day. In front of many world leaders, she planned to announce this technology, fully legitimizing Scylla technology. Naveen was completely persuaded but still had some reservations. A professor named Vincent had published a paper questioning the stability of Scylla technology and highlighting significant safety risks. If Vincent appeared at the energy conference and spoke out, all of India would become a target. Christina assured she would take care of Professor Vincent and gave Naveen only 1 minute to decide. As many countries were eager to obtain Scylla technology, while waiting, an assistant handed Christina a note indicating Vincent would arrive by private jet at 4:30 p.m. After brief consideration, Naveen finally agreed to Christina's plan. After bidding farewell, Christina quickly left. Meanwhile, Lincoln and the others were still searching for her at the embassy, and, unfortunately, they ran into the embassy's bodyguards, thinking they were Christina's subordinates. The bodyguard handed Lincoln a note left on the table by Christina. On the other side, Michael also decoded most of the information on the note and followed it to a parking lot. Michael used an antenna to pick a car lock, and inside the car, he found a briefcase containing a map to the destination, car keys, a cell phone, and a handgun. Michael told Sarah that verses on the note must be initials, and 1630 likely represents 4:30 p.m. Michael drove frantically towards the airport indicated on the map, and at this moment, the cell phone inside the briefcase suddenly rang. As soon as Michael answered, Christina recognized the voice of her younger son and quickly hung up the phone. Little did they expect that the first call between mother and son after more than 20 years would end so abruptly. Meanwhile, Lincoln and the others returned to the base. Upon learning they came back empty-handed except for a note. Teabag was infuriated, exclaiming he got beaten up while they only brought back a piece of paper.
How about some Elmer's glue? Did you get any of that?
But the clever Mahone noticed something crucial. If this person was important to Christina, then he must be equally important to them. So, they rushed to the airport. At this point, Michael had already broken into the airport control center, holding the tower at gunpoint to make Vincent's private jet change its landing runway.
Tank ready? Sir, I need you to come with me.
Is there something wrong?
We have some concerns about some health exposure you may have experienced during the flight.
I'm sorry, I don't... Let's go.
Michael Schofield, Vincent Simmons.
Get in the car.
But agents sent by Christina noticed something was amiss and hurried over, managing to block Michael's car with 2 SUVs after a short chase.
Get down! Now! Now! Put him in the car! What do we do with these 2? Kill him.
In a critical moment, Mahone arrived and killed the agents with several shots. Now, the brothers stood on opposing sides, with Don stepping forward to take Vincent away. Lincoln told Michael he shouldn't have come here. He did this for the entire family. The first confrontation between the brothers ended with Lincoln's victory, but Michael was far from conceding. Back at the base, Teabag looked at a photo of his mother, who was under house arrest by Krantz, and shed tears in private. After much thought, Teabag once again informed Krantz that Scylla was in the hands of Lincoln's mother.
Fuel the jet. We're going to Miami.
Soon after, Lincoln and the others brought Vincent back to the base, but no matter how they interrogated him, Vincent insisted he didn't know Christina nor what Scylla was, claiming he was just an ordinary professor. However, they couldn't find his cell phone after searching him thoroughly. It turned out Michael had stealthily taken the phone when they got out of the car, and he discovered over 20 emails between Christina and Vincent in Vincent's inbox. It seems this person is far from as simple as they had imagined. Using Vincent's phone, Michael called the company's big boss, who was his biological mother, Christina, demanding she hand over Scylla. But Christina had already traced Michael's location, and soon she arrived with several bodyguards, only to find that Michael was not in the warehouse. Meanwhile, hiding Michael sneaked into their car and stuffed a packet of white powder into the air conditioning vent, then deliberately drove his own car past the warehouse to lure them out. Seeing Michael escaping, the agents hurriedly followed in their car. However, as soon as they started the car, white smoke spewed from the air conditioning, disorienting everyone inside. Before they could exit the vehicle, they had all fainted. Michael approached, knocked down the agents with several punches, then carried his unconscious mother into the trunk. When Christina woke up, she found herself tied to a chair with her son, Michael, sitting opposite her. Michael directly demanded to know where Scylla was hidden, but Christina was not going to easily divulge that information. She attempted to sway Michael with familial affection, but when she realized it had no effect, she tried to drive a wedge between Michael and Lincoln. Only at this moment did Michael learn that Lincoln was not his biological brother. Lincoln's biological parents were also agents of the company and had died on a mission. Michael's father, also an agent, had adopted 3-year-old Lincoln. Christina, however, did not like Lincoln, considering him naturally dull-witted, whereas she had a particular fondness for Michael, who inherited her high intelligence. This indirectly explains why Christina, despite being a high-ranking official in the company, did not appear to save Lincoln in the first season. But Christina underestimated the importance of Lincoln in Michael's heart. Michael had once said, "I will save you," and had jeopardized his future to break his brother out of prison. This deep brotherly bond was not something that could be severed by revealing they were not blood-related. Michael vehemently rebuked Christina, expressing that while she abandoned her children, Lincoln raised and educated him. Even if Lincoln was not his biological brother, he was more than that in spirit. Unable to sow discord between the brothers, Christina tried to distract Michael by claiming Lincoln was walking into a trap she had set. Upon hearing this, Michael became desperate, knowing well the lengths this ruthless woman would go for her interests. Thus, Michael dragged her to the bathroom and forcefully demanded Christina disclose her plans for Lincoln.
Come on! Come here! Where is he? Where is he? Where is Lincoln?
Christina revealed that Lincoln was proceeding according to her plan toward the energy conference. If you want to save him, you'd better hurry to the hotel where the conference is being held, she said. Although Michael was wary of Christina's mix of truth and lies, he couldn't take the risk of not believing her and decided to head to the hotel alone to stop everything. Before leaving, Michael left a gun with Sarah, instructing her to shoot Christina if she attempted to escape. While Michael was capturing Christina, Lincoln and his group were interrogating Vincent, who stubbornly claimed ignorance about Scylla. Just as Lincoln was about to shoot in frustration, Krantz suddenly arrived.
Put the gun down. Vincent and I need to talk.
Seeing Krantz, Vincent immediately caved. It turned out Vincent had been an agent of the company for 21 years and had now sided with Christina, coming to work for her, under duress. Vincent admitted he only knew the hotel where Christina was staying, not the whereabouts of Scylla. As they left, Mahone cast a disdainful glance at Teabag, the informant, and Krantz intentionally left Teabag behind, from whose eyes a trace of slight guilt could be discerned. Lincoln and the others arrived at Christina's hotel, only to find it empty. They rummage around and Lincoln inadvertently finds a receipt and Don finds an envelope with the word DMB printed on it. Lincoln had Krantz ask Vincent what DMB meant, and under interrogation, Vincent finally revealed it was a bank. They rushed to the bank and, using Homeland Security credentials, intimidated the bank manager into opening safety deposit box 6468. An employee mentioned that just a minute ago, a man had taken the safety deposit box. They rushed out and saw an agent carrying a case with Scylla in it. They followed doggedly, though the agent seemed to deliberately walk slowly, as if fearing they would lose track of him. Soon, they were lured to the hotel hosting the energy conference. Mahone sensed something was wrong, but the straightforward Lincoln, seeing Scylla within reach, ignored Mahone's caution and followed inside. Mahone discovered a car parked at the entrance that hadn't been turned off. Inside, he found it was rented under Lincoln's name, containing their IDs. Clearly, a conspiracy was at play. Inside the hotel, the energy conference had already started. Naveen, in his capacity as a diplomat, took the stage to speak. Just as he is about to announce the Scylla technology, a sniper from above suddenly kills Naveen. Strangely, after the assassination, the sniper pulled a cartridge case from his pocket. Lincoln happened to follow to this location, and Michael also arrived at the venue, and Christina's shocking conspiracy finally came to light. First, they had surveillance footage of Lincoln at the bank, trying to steal Scylla, creating a narrative. Then, they planted the car rented under his name at the conference entrance to fabricate his escape after committing murder, and the cartridge case left by the sniper had Lincoln's fingerprints, which he had left while searching Christina's room. In other words, Lincoln would once again be accused of assassinating a national figure. But what was Christina's purpose in doing all this? Was it merely because Lincoln was not her biological son? It seemed the situation was far from simple.